Welcome students for online classes. Today we'll start with a new chapter, that is chapter 8, which is secondary sector, which can also be said as industry or the manufacturing sector. Okay, what happened in this secondary sector? Why it is called as the industrial sector? Resources available in our nature are found, or we get those resources in the form of raw materials. To satisfy various or unlimited human wants, what happens, our current economy gives us new technologies or new equipment to change this raw material into something. So maybe for example, cotton can be converted into cloth, leather can be converted into shoe or leather jackets. In the same way, iron ore can be converted into steel or machinery or any other equipment. So who is the person or any organization who converts this process, that is from the raw material to the finished goods? This particular, the secondary sector or industry, converts this raw material into finished goods. Now let's see what is the meaning of industry. The technique of converting natural or man-made raw materials into finished product is termed as manufacturing or industries. So what this particular industry or any organization or any factory does, they purchase the raw material from the farmers and later on convert it and do a particular process, and finished products will be given as a resultant. Maybe for example, I purchase cotton from the farmer and later on I convert it to some clothes. This is the whole process. What does industry does? They involve in the process of raw materials and produce more and more valuable price. More and more valuable price in the sense they produce more and more goods which are of large qualities and which are demanded in the economy, and which is also very much necessary that the manufacturing head or the manufacturing process people need to know which kind of products are demanded in the society. Why? Because to get a good profit height. Okay, later on what happened? First, man used muscular energy or the animal energy to create new products. Earlier what happened, as there was no much technology, what did man do? He started doing the manual work with his, either with his muscular energy or with the help of the animals. So later on, with the change in the economy, with the change in the technology or upgradation of technology, what happened? Industrial revolution came into existence. When industrial revolution came into existence, that is in the year 1769, what happened? That is majorly from England. By this what happened? New machineries came into existence. With the help of this, what happened? The productivity started increasing. There was no much manpower to use, there was no much muscular energy to use in this particular industrial revolution. Why this industrial revolution was taken into picture? Because when there was no proper development in the economy, what happened? We in a sense, our economy needed more and more industry for the development. So at the same point of time, what happened? It was very much necessary for the industrial revolution to be started in our current economy, and the first being the industrial revolution was in the steam engine. With the startage or with the start of that particular sector, what happened? There was started developing in our current economy. Okay, now let's see what is the meaning of industrialization. Now we studied what was industry, which means converting the raw materials into the finished products. Now what is this industrialization? Industrialization is a process in which more and more industries are established in a country. What is industrialization? Where more and more there is increase in the industry. Maybe for example, in our current economy, earlier there was only one industry. Later on, with the development of technology, with the development of new machineries, what happened? The people got to know what kind of work they need to do. At the same point of time, they even wanted to earn more and more profit. So because of that, what did they do? They started replacing the outdated machines with the new technology, and even maybe the animal labor or even the muscular energy was changed into the mechanical energy. And not only industries, but with the change, when the industry started increasing, even our economy also started increasing, or I can tell that there was development in our current economy or in our current surroundings. Okay, so this is known as industrialization. There is a difference between industrialization and industry. What does industry does? Industry converts the raw materials into finished products, and industrialization means there where there is increase in the industry. Maybe earlier when there was only one industry, that is not called as industrialization, but with the happening of new things, when the industries increase for maybe 5-10 industries in a particular area, that particular thing is known as industrialization. Okay, now let's see what are the significance of industries in our Indian economy. The very much important, where our Indian economy increases, at the same point of time we can be developed in with the point of view of the whole world. The first one is rapid growth of income. What happened with the earlier, what happened, as we were using the muscular energy and with the help of animal energy also, what happened, man was putting more and more effort. But when industrial revolution came, what happened, the effort what man was putting was even much necessary with the knowledge of the machineries. So by this, what happened, the productivity started increasing. When the production started increasing, normally the income level also increased. When the people demand for the products in the economy, when there is increase in the demand for any cloth or any kind of shoes or any kind of portrait or something like that, at that particular point of time the industries will get a good profit or good income. So by this, what happened, economy will grow. At the same point of time, there will be rapid growth in our economy with the help of income. And the second is the increasing employment opportunities. Okay, by this, what happens naturally in our current India, there is rapid growth in population. When there is rapid growth in population, what happens, the people need employment, the people will go in search of employment opportunities. When this particular industry, majorly what happens is that industries will be situated in some of the interior place or in any of the village place. Why the industries will be situated in this industrial place? Because the industries need laborers. At the same point of time, the unemployed people will get the employment opportunities. By this, what happened, when more and more industries are situated in any of the villages, at the same point of time the village will be developed with the help of industry, and the same point of time the people who live there will get the job. So when more and more industries will be discovered, or more and more industries will be situated in our area, what happens, we can solve the problem of unemployment, and there will be major employment goals. Okay, the next is the exploitation of natural resources. What happens, industries need to use the resources, maybe the raw materials, maybe the natural raw materials, or maybe the man-made raw materials. For example, the natural, maybe the iron ore or something which is found in the land. And secondly, what is man-made resources, maybe sugar, maybe cotton, sugar cane, cotton, all these things are the man-made resources, which can be converted into another new thing. So exploitation of resources, in the sense, man-made goods or man-made raw materials are okay with using, but the natural resources, when you take out, what happens, you need to take out very sensibly. Why? Because it is very much necessary. When land gives you something, you need to give it the other thing, because land and human beings will be very much into it. You need to help each other. At the same point of time, what happens, you cannot pollute your particular surroundings. What happens, when there are more and more industries situated, the pollution of air and even the pollution of water, where you live chemical things into water, it will be very harmful for the, even for the animals and even for the people who live around it. So exploitation of resources is also one of the major significance in our Indian economy. And the next thing is increase in export earnings. What is export? Export is trade in the sense selling and buying things with the abroad people, maybe with US, maybe with any other abroad people. At this particular point of time, how is it increasing? What happens, earlier what happened, we were doing handicraft things. We used to weave with the help of hand, or we used to do with the manual work. We didn't have machinery. When industries came, when new technology came, what happened? There was change in the structure. When there was change in the structure, what happened? There was increase in the people wanting new things. At the same point of time, there was increase in the export things. When there was increase in the export, when you sell more things to any other country, you got more money in return. So this is known as increase in export earnings, where you earn more and more money with the help of exports. Okay, now the next thing is the development of agriculture. How did this particular industry develop the agriculture? One basic and one normal thing is, earlier what happened, we were in the sense, farmers used to use the outdated techniques, maybe with the usage of bullock carts. But later when industries came, what happened? The farmers started using the tractors, maybe the pump sets and fertilizers, pesticides, all these things were used. So with the help of all these things, what happened? There was development in agriculture with the help of industry. Okay, next is the balanced development. How there was balanced development? First, how what is this balanced development? In the sense, there should be balance even in the agriculture and even in the industry. When there is employment opportunities, there should be balance in both the sector. When you get more and more money, there should be a balance between both the sector. So what India is called as an unbalanced economy. Why is this called as unbalanced economy? Because most of the population will be engaged in agriculture. Why will they be engaged in agriculture? Because there will be no proper knowledge, there will be no proper efficiency for them to be in industrial sector. To run a machinery also, you need some sort of knowledge or some sort of idea about that particular machinery. If you have no knowledge about that particular machinery, you cannot work on it. So at the same point of time, what happens? More and more people engage in agriculture when there was no proper balance in industry and agriculture. Later on, what happened? When industrial revolution came, there was balance. Why? Because the campaigns were made, there was training procedure for the people who come to do the industries, do the factory system, to know about the machinery. By this, what happened? There was balanced development with the agriculture sector and with the industrial sector. And the next is self-sustained growth. What is this self-sustained? As told earlier, it is known as self-independent. What happened earlier? Earlier in agriculture also, we used to purchase the food grains from other countries. In the same way, what happened? When there was no proper development in our current economy, we, that is Indians, were purchasing the goods from the other countries. Even now we do the same, but now we are self independent, that we can purchase our own goods which is made from India, or India is so much self sufficient that India can produce the own goods and sell it into the India. By when there are more and more industries in our current economy, what happens? India can become self independent. We can tell in two ways. India can either be self independent, or India can eliminate becoming dependent to other countries. Okay, by this, what happened? When you become self independent, you will not purchase the goods from other countries, you will not import goods from other countries. At the same point of time, what? You will not give money. When you import something, you need to give money in return. So you will not give money in return. In spite of that, what will you do? You develop more and more industry, you do work there, you know about the machineries, you start processing new things. By this, what will happen? By this, our current economy or our current India can be self sufficient. Okay, now the next thing is a nation's security. Okay, what happened? Why is this nation security is very much important in industry? Because uh, for the helpage of the army people, you need defense. When there is defense, you need the equipments, maybe guns, maybe bullets, maybe many more things which is helpful for the nation security. Before knowing all these things, what happens, our India used to purchase or take the defense equipments from abroad people. At this particular point of time, you can even think there can be some kind of corruption, or there will be some kind of mismatch mishap. So at that particular point of time, what will happen, it will be where we cannot trust everyone. When it comes to the defense or nation security, it is very much necessary for our current economy to produce by their own. So industry helped a lot by this nation security, where the industry became self independent and started producing more and more defense things for our particular Indian safety. By this, what happened, the risk got reduced, and we were not much into depending in another sector or in another abroad countries. So these are the significance of the industries, that is Indian economy, which is very much important for our current Indian economy to grow and to become the self independent. Okay, the next topic is interdependence of agriculture and industry. Interdependence in the sense, what happens, agriculture and industry are interlinked to each other. How interlinked to each other? When industry needs any raw materials, from where will industry buy? Industry will go to the primary sector or agriculture. The industry will purchase the raw materials and they will process. So this is known as interlinked between each other. What we tell to agriculture is a backbone of our country. At the same point of time, what we call industry as, we call industry as energy of our current economy. Okay, where one cannot develop without another, both go hand in hand. Okay, first let's see the contribution of agriculture to industry. First, how agriculture helps industry. Okay, later on we will see how industry will help agriculture. First, what happens? Raw material. It is first and foremost the important thing. Industry needs raw materials and agriculture will provide the raw materials to the industry. And second is food to workers. Okay, what does agriculture do? Agriculture will produce the food grains, and this food grains will go to the industry, where industry people will cook it and have. This is very much necessary, where there is equal pace or equal interlinkation between both, that is industry and agriculture, where agriculture helps the industry by giving food to the workers. And third is the source of capital formation. What happens, agriculture, okay, now we will think that there is no agriculture in our current economy, only there are industries. From where will industry buy, or from where will industry do anything? Industry should either go to abroad countries to purchase the raw materials which will be of higher price, and either they can help some of the people around and do any agriculture process which will be helpful for the industry. By this, what happened, the capital formation, in the sense there will be savings for the industry. What happens when agriculture gives raw materials for the industry at low price, then for that certain low price, what will happen, the industry can save and can save it for the further usage. What does capital mean? Capital is a usage of any machinery for the further operation. So by this, what will happen, the savings can be used by the industry for the further. By this, agriculture is very much important to industry. Okay, now the next thing is consumer and capital goods. Okay, what happens? The agriculture provides good market for industrial goods. Good market for industrial goods in the sense, okay, this industrial goods, or what happens, say for example, nowadays there is preservation of food. What does agriculture or the primary sector does? They give the raw materials to the industry, and industry, what do they do? They preserve the, maybe the fruits, or maybe the maybe corns, which can be preserved for future use. Future use in the sense, Not only if you bring any thing today, you need to cook it within some few days of a few span of time. At this particular point of time, what happened with the usage of good preservatives, what happens, this particular consumer goods or the capital goods can be kept for major time. This will be helpful for even for the agriculture sector and even for the industrial sector, where agriculture makes a good market for this industrial goods, where because of the preservatives added to the products, it can be further used by the uh, end customers. Okay, lastly is the healthy and strong labor. What does this mean? The basic thing, where when you do the organic farming or when you do any good farming, what happens when the laborers or when the people consume it, the people will be healthy and we will be strong enough to work in the industries. So this was about the contribution which was made by the agriculture to the industries. Now let's see what industry helped agriculture in return. Okay, first is the agricultural inputs. What are these agricultural inputs? Maybe the pesticides, the fertilizers, the tractors, the pump sets, maybe for the irrigation problem. All these things, everything is maybe the equipments. Everything is made when the development. When there is development, what happens? There will be technology. At the same point of time, you need to produce something. This will be helpful only by the industry. First industry will produce equipment and later on it will be sent to the agricultural sector, where the production will increase. At the same point of time, productivity will increase. At the same point of time, income of that particular farmer will also increase. By this, industry will help agriculture. Second is the infrastructure. Okay, what are these infrastructure? Maybe road, maybe transportation facility, maybe the irrigation. All these things will can be done by industry. Industry can produce cement. Industry can produce pump sets for irrigation. Industry can produce the buses, trains. They can produce anything with the help of steel, with the help of machinery, with the help of engine. By this, what happens? It will be useful for agriculture. How is it useful for agriculture? Transportation. You need your goods, your food grains to travel from one place to another. The movement of goods. For this, you need vehicles. At the same point of time, you need proper roads. If you have X to transport from one place to another, and if the road is very bad, it will be very if it will be very difficult for you. You need to do proper insurance for your eggs, and at the same point of time, what happens, there might be some sort of chances that your eggs might broke because of the transportation facility. So roads is also very much important. And lastly, the irrigation facility. What happens? You need pump sets for the irrigation facility. So who provides all these things? The industry will provide all these things to agricultural sector with the some sort of reasonable price. And next is the employment opportunities. Now with this particular point, you may think that even in agriculture there are many employment opportunities, and even in industry there is very much employment opportunities. But how there is helpful for industry by the agriculture? What happens? Industry will work the whole point of time, maybe from January till December. But what happens in agricultural sector when one particular crop is made? Maybe it is a span of 4 months. After the leftover time, what will they do? So by this, what happens? The people who live in another sector can jump into the other sector by doing the employment opportunities hand in hand with the other sector. So by this, what happens? Industry will help the agricultural sector by doing all these, the surplus laborers, where extra laborers are kept idle. By this point of time, what will happen? The idle laborers can work in the another sector to earn money. And the last thing is the good productivity. Okay, what happens when there are new equipments? What, as I told, there will be increase in production. At the same point of time, there will be increase in the income of the farmers. But how will industry help? By this, what will happen? The people or the farmers will think that I need to use new equipment for my usage of this land. I need to use new technology. Who will produce this new technology? The production of new technology will be done by the industry. By this, industry will help the agricultural field by giving the good production or good productivity with the help of their maybe tractors, maybe equipments or any sort of things. By this, what happened, there will be a contribution by industry to the agriculture. Earlier we studied how agriculture helped industry, and later on this is how industry will help agriculture. By this we will get to know that agriculture and industries are two separable sides of our current economy, where both go hand in hand and where both are very much necessary for our current economy. Thank you, students.